Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome in to another edition of the NFL Preview Show. It is week 11 in the NFL. We're here on another Sunday, another day, another dollar, breaking it down for you, getting you through all the games, getting you through what I like, what I'm looking at. Hopefully, you're having a great Sunday morning wherever you are. Sunday morning, great morning, isn't it? Got a lot of games. You got all sorts of sports to watch. We're getting down into the nitty gritty. We got 5, 6 weeks left, and you got the playoffs. Got all sorts of stuff going on. There's nothing better than sports weekends in the fall and winter. It's really the great time of year. So, welcome in everyone out there joining me. As always appreciate you all joining me. I thank you for it. I thank you for checking in as always. I know there are other shows and I know there are other things going on, but I am winning. I'm doing a nice job on these shows. Really every sport has been very, very, very good for me. I've done good in college. I'm up significantly there. A lot of season left. The NFL I'm up on. Soccer I'm up on. NBA. College basketball on these shows have been very solid so far. So very happy with what I've done. Hope you all are enjoying the show. Look, I don't have like 6 people on this show. It's just me. I give you my opinion. I've done this for a long time, and I feel like I know what I'm looking at and know what I'm doing. I know maybe I don't have I guess a lot of people always feel like I don't have the chops in the NFL, but I've done better than really anyone at the NFL. So, it's been good to me. Even the futures have come in as well. A lot of the stuff I'm talking about. Yeah, horses have been good as well. Got another day lined up on that. I had a nice day yesterday on the horses. So, hit that pick 3 to end the day. So, yeah, I got a lot of stuff I'm looking at. Aqueduct today, Del Mar, Laurel Park. So I had a couple of tracks I'm going to be looking at. All right, let's get into the NFL. A lot of games here. A lot of time to cover it. Let's do it. Hit the like button. Please, listen. If you guys can like the show, I'd appreciate it. But if you could retweet it, it would go a long way for me. I appreciate you all doing that. Retweeting is so huge because a lot of you, I don't follow the people you follow. They follow you. Maybe they only know you. So please retweet the show. Please. It's how we grow it. It's how we get a lot of people in here. And this is how I've been able to create my channel. So please do that. Please continue to help me out. And please continue to support the show. Okay, let's get into the games here. We've got a lot to get to. And only a certain amount of time to do it. We're doing rotation number again. 451, 452. Dallas Cowboys headed on the road to take on Detroit. Dallas 7.5, total 46.5. Listen, no Stafford today. We all know that. Matt continues to deal with a back injury, which sucks. He's done a very good season. This team is looking really good. And they were scoring a lot of points. Listen, last week I wasn't not impressed with Driscoll. I mean, he wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't great either, but he was able to move the football for the most part. And they had a shot to win that game late. Here's the issue for Detroit. They continue to struggle to run the football. This team's only run for over 100 yards twice this season. You look at over the last 6 games, have only managed to run for over 100 yards one time. This team's just struggling to run the football. And when you have a quarterback like Jeff Driscoll behind center, really the goal is to just defend, play your corners, don't give a ton of space and do the best you can because he's not going to beat you. He's not going to throw the football downfield and beat you every single way like a Stafford can. He's not going to extend plays like Matthew Stafford can. I've said before, though, if you're going to be a backup quarterback, the role you want to be in is with the Detroit Lions. They have a great receiving core, good tight end, a pretty decent offensive line. You have Galladay, you have Jones, you have Hawkinson, you have Amendola. You have so many options to go to. And Driscoll actually wasn't terrible last week. I mean, 27 for 46, threw a lot of passes, but he threw for 259, had a couple of turnovers, though. Here's the thing. If he can limit turnovers, I think they can cover this game. Their offense should be able to move the ball. I mean, Dallas has been good, not great defensively. I have some real concerns about this Detroit defense. This is a group that continues to struggle, particularly against the opposing running backs. You look at on the season, Detroit has been horrific against opposing running backs this year. They've not been good to stopping the run. And in pass defense, they've been particularly poor. Their linebackers have not been great. Davis and Jones. Davis has been remarkably substandard at that position. So, for me, I like the over in this game. Over looks pretty solid. I feel like the Detroit Lions can contribute on the scoreboard a little bit. I think they can get to that 20-point mark. You look at over the last couple of weeks, this Dallas team, they're putting up a lot of points. I considered their team total over here. I don't see any reason they don't get to 30, at least 28. And you look at a lot of the last couple of weeks. I mean, Green Bay, 34-24. The Jets, 24-22. 37-10 against Philadelphia. 37-18 against the Giants. 28-24 last week. These games are going over the total. Driscoll's not scaring me off. I think he can move the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball. They just can't run it. It's that simple. And against this defensive line, I don't think it's going to get easier. You've got to attack this younger secondary for the Dallas Cowboys. I think that's going to put you in a nice position. I think this game goes over. I think the total's too low where it is. I mean, you have a total right now, 46.5. That's too low. I'd have put it up at 48. 46.5 too low. I'd grab the total here if I was playing this game. 453, 454. Saints headed on the road to take on the Bucks. Saints 5, total 50.5. Listen, here's the issue for the Bucks today, okay? Because I see a lot of people backing Tampa in this spot. And I don't disagree. I mean, Tampa's offense always keeps them in games. They have a gunslinger quarterback. They have a guy in Mike Evans who, without Marshawn Lattimore today, he should have a big day. They're always going to stay in games because they gunsling. We just don't know when the turnovers are going to come because we know they're going to come with Jameis Winston. That's what he does. Tampa Bay's got a great run defense. They're one of the best in the league, but their passing defense is horrific. As usual with Tampa, they can't stop anybody. And you look at this week, they lose Vernon Hargreaves. They get rid of him. They don't have MJ Stewart today, which is a big loss in the slot. They're going to go with Jamal Dean and Carlton Davis as their corners today. That's not going to give me a lot of reason to think that the Saints aren't going to move the ball. You look at over the last 6 games against the Buccaneers, Drew Brees and the Saints, 28 or more in 5 of those 6 games. The Bucks, no one has allowed more receiving yards or touchdowns to opposing wide receivers. Mike Evans. Michael Thomas should have a big day. All these receivers, backfield guy, anyone that plays offense for the Saints should have a big day. Weather's going to be good in Tampa. No issues with that. Drew Brees just beats the Bucs. It's just that simple. But I'm going to tell you where I would go here. I'm not necessarily going to take the side. I'm not going to take a total. I would look towards the Saints team total. They did not play well last week. It was just one of those really weird performances. Breeze is back. He's got a full week under his belt, and he's facing a defense that he legitimately has destroyed in his career. And this is a team that is allowing a lot. I think the Saints kind of abandon the run today and just attack this secondary because it's not good. It's bad, frankly. You've got to attack them. And without Hargraves, no Stewart, there could be a lot of big days across the board here. Jared Cook, Michael Thomas, Traquan Smith. There's a lot of guys here that should put up some big days here. So if I had to play this one, I'd kind of isolate the Saints. I also don't hate the Saints in a teaser here if you have to play it. I just don't trust the Bucs to win this game. They could cover, but I don't think they win. Jameis Winston will make a bad throw late. Jameis Winston will turn the ball over a couple times. And again, if I'm more inclined to get a stop, I'm looking towards the Saints. I'm not looking towards the Bucs. I like their run defense, but they do have Alvin Kamara. They do have guys that can run the football and do things that other people can't. So, we'll see if Kamara plays. As far as I know, he's going to play. Again, if that information is wrong, feel free to tell me. Thanks all of you for joining me. A lot of people in here. I always appreciate you. Thank you. And hope you're enjoying the show. All right. Let's keep it moving. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to answer or mention it. Also, stick around to the end of the show. I am going to throw out a college basketball pick for you today. I've been throwing out free picks left and right with college. They've been coming in. My premiums start tomorrow on my website, bmocwins.com. So if you want to join me there, get on the monthly service, feel free to jump on. You're going to get a lot analysis, picks, a premium sit down where I break down something in college basketball each week from a whole perspective, audio analysis every day. It's going to be a fun place to be. So if you want to join me, you can, bmocwins.com. I'll throw out a free pick today in college hoops. Stick around to the end of the show. All right, 455, 456. Atlanta headed on the road to take on the Carolina Panthers. Panthers 4, total 49. Listen, are we being goaded here with the Falcons? Because, look, I hear a lot of people taking the Falcons this week. A lot of people. Now, I got to tell you, I feel like the wool's being pulled over your eyes. I know it's cold out, but that wool's being pulled out a little too far. Listen, it's all well and good that the Falcons were able to beat the Saints. It was terrific. But I got to tell you, I think it had a lot more to do with the fact that this Saints offense just really didn't play well. It was just one of those outlier games. The offensive line didn't play well, which is odd. And they made the Falcons look like a great defense. I don't think that's what they are. I actually kind of like their run defense. The Falcons it's not bad, but we all know that secondary is exploitable. And it can be beat. But here's the issue. I don't necessarily love the Panthers quarterback. I don't know that he can move the football downfield. I like DJ Moore, and I like some of the guys that obviously love McCaffrey. He could have a big day. But for me, I look at the Falcons, and I know they made some changes in the secondary, and maybe it made a difference, but I don't think long term it is. And again, Kyle Allen is move the ball. I mean, it's not like he's totally inept. You look at that game against the Packers, they should have won. I mean, if McCaffrey falls forward, who knows what the hell happens in that game. They were right in the position to win the game. And Allen had a pretty big day. I mean, it was snowing the entire game, and Allen threw for over 300 yards, had a touchdown. I see a lot of people taking Atlanta today, and it's like, well, I mean, the Panthers have a pretty damn good secondary. Good linebacking core as usual. I don't love the Falcons' offensive line ever. And I know the Falcons are just going to bomb away. And again, the Falcons can't run the football. So if you can kind of slow down that defense, or that offense, you're going to have some success. So if you want to let the Falcons pull the wool over your eyes, go ahead. I'm not going to, though. If I had to play this game, I'm looking towards Carolina. I just like everything they do more than the Falcons. The only concern I have, and why I didn't play the Panthers, this Panthers team is dead last in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage for their opponent. The red zone is not been good to the Panthers. But I also look at this total and I say, well, why not just bet the over? 48.5. Why is this total only 48.5? Are we really believing that the Falcons' defense is good? Why is everyone betting Atlanta here? Can I fucking ask someone that? Why do people love Atlanta in this game? Atlanta stinks. Atlanta's not any good. Because they beat the Saints in some outlier game last week. Now we're supposed to buy that Atlanta's like really good. Carolina's secondary is good. It's really kept them in games. And Allen can move the ball. I mean, you're not gonna weather like last week. He's able to move the ball last week. And they have a guy named Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if you heard of him, but he's pretty fucking good. He might be the best player in the league. I mean, I'm not getting this. I don't understand. So, if you want to go ahead and bet, the Falcons, go ahead, but I'm not buying it. So, and at the end of the day, I mean, who do you trust more late in the game? Atlanta or Carolina? This is actually a game where Ron Rivera is the better coach, surprisingly. I know that's hard to believe, but he's the better coach in this game. So I'm going to back with Kyle, and I've liked the way the kids played. You got some speedsters, Moore, and obviously you have McCaffrey. This game seems like kind of like a 27-21 type of game. It won't be easy, but I think they get the job done here. Good call by Ryan Gupton. First, that can't be true, really. Is that true? Atlanta's first game outside? Wow, I never even realized that. That's a pretty good call by you. That's week 11. It's the first game. That's amazing. I gotta look that up. I gotta see if that's actually. I mean, it's not that I don't believe you. I'm just kind of blown away by that. Okay, they played Minnesota. That's an inside game. They played Philadelphia at home. That's an inside game. Away at Indy. That's an inside game. Tennessee at home. That's an inside game. Houston away. That's an inside game. Arizona away. That's an inside game. Rams at home, Seattle at home. Those are inside games. New Orleans away. Wow. That's amazing. I actually just seen that. Wow. Good call. I actually did not see that. I never realized that. I was thinking about that. It seems like they play a lot of games like at home. And then I'm thinking, well, I guess there's a lot more dome teams now. That's a good point. I never thought about that, actually. That's a really good call by you. So there you go. There might just be more dome teams that I'm forgetting about, but yeah, and that makes me like the Panthers a lot more. So good call. I think we see some points here as well. 48 seems a bit low. That is really interesting. Matt Ryan not moving as well. Everybody just kind of, it is cold. I mean, it's cold on the East Coast. Yeah, you look at the weather. I mean, I know Charlotte's, it's usually a little warmer down there, but not much. And Charlotte takes 54. You got a little wind too, so I mean, yeah. Listen, I like the Panthers here. I'm not buying Atlanta. All right, next, Jags and Colts. 2 quarterbacks back today. Welcome back, Big Dick Nick. Shout out Nick Foles, my guy. Salute, my boy. Thank you for everything. Nick Foles, a legend in this town, a legend in these parts. He can walk down any block in Philadelphia. I don't care where it is. Nick Foles can walk down any block. I don't care if it's in Kensington, Brewery Town, South Philly, King Sesson, West Oak Lane, Olney, Bridesburg, Mayfair, Tacony, Rittenhouse Square, Point Breeze, wherever. If he comes to this city, he's a fucking legend anywhere. I don't care if he goes down the worst street in the Badlands. I don't care. Even if he goes to the Badlands, he's walking around with a fucking coat on and a crown. That's how Nick Foles is welcome back in Philadelphia. Okay? I don't care where he goes. Today, he's back at quarterback for the Jags against the Indianapolis Colts. Colts laying 2.5, total 42.5. This is a fascinating game because I think the Colts can establish the run. Jags have not been good against the run all season. But I guess how long does it take Nick Foles to get back into the swing of things? Nick's an interesting character because in this town, he was unbelievable. Now, in his entire career, he's had a little bit more trouble. And we're back to Nick because in week 1, he played well, but then he went out, and it's been 10 weeks since we've seen him. He's got some guys there that can catch the football, Westbrook and guys like that. You've got a good running back in Leonard Fournette. But Brissett's back. But still no Hilton. So it's a lot more difficult for. Listen, right now with the Colts, I'm just going to kind of avoid. I haven't really gotten a matchup I've loved them in. I bet against them against the Steelers, and I got the job done there. This one's I'm going to sit out on. You still got some unevenness with the quarterbacks here. We don't know what Foles is going to look like. We don't know what Brissett's really going to look like. And without Hilton, it's going to be an uphill climb. No Pierre Desir for the Colts. Whenever he's not in there, it always hurts. This one I'm going to sit out. If I had to play it, to be honest, I'd kind of lean Jags. I just don't really like the Colts without Hilton. Their offense looks, wonky. I just don't like them. But they should be able to move the football on the ground. And to be honest, I trust Foles a little bit more than I trust Brissett. But this is a tough game. I don't have much on it. I'm gonna kind of avoid it. I'm gonna pass on this one. Next one, 459, 460. Vikings -10 at home against the Broncos. Total 40. Listen, I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again. Okay. Now, this is pretty amazing for Mike Zimmer. As non-divisional, home favorites. So basically, when they're playing a team outside of the NFC North at home as a favorite, the Vikings have covered 19 of 22 at home. That's pretty unbelievable. So let me say that again. So try to perk your ears up here. As non-divisional, so anyone against other than the NFC North, so that would make sense here. And as home favorites, that would make sense here as well. In that building, they've covered 19 of 22. That's like almost 90% against the number. Like that's pretty unreal, actually. So I'll often say this is almost an auto bet at this point. Well, it's not almost, it is. With not a lot of talent on that Denver sideline offensively. I mean, look, I like Lindsey and like I kind of like, Deshaun Hamilton. I like some of the guys there, but the quarterback, Brandon Allen, I'm not really interested in betting on. And I mean, the Vikings have been on fire. I mean, they're giving up their defense has improved significantly. Cousins has found his own. The offense has been terrific. I think this is a game for the Broncos. Like, you're 3-6. Like, you're not winning anything. And again, as non-divisional home, that's like pretty unbelievable. Like, that's one of the more unbelievable stats like in the NFL right now that no one is talking about. Like, that's really good. So, plus, I mean, you've got the Vikings out of a bye here. Hard to not bet the Vikings today, to be real honest with you. I guess the only thing that gives me a little pause is Denver's defense better than maybe I think. Maybe. Could maybe keep them in this game where it's like 24-10 late and you're kind of, on the edge of your seat. Maybe. But I get the feeling this is like a 31-13 type of game. And the Vikings offenses look really good in that building. And, I mean, again, that number on the Vikings as the non-divisional home favorites is exquisite. I think you're the best on the internet or YouTube. Thank you, Retrohar. I appreciate that. I put a lot of time into this. I'm hoping you're getting something out of it. I'm just trying to make people betters, okay? I've been through a lot of this shit. I've seen a lot of this shit. I've been on Twitter since 2009, okay? Scott Weaver, who is in here. Scott, who is one of the original Twitter people. Scott can vouch. I've been in this business for a long fucking time. I've been on Twitter longer than anybody. And that's the fucking truth. I'm not going to say I've been bet longer than anybody, but I've been on gambling Twitter and in this YouTube and content shit longer than anybody. I was doing fucking shows 7, 8, 9 years ago. So I've seen a lot, and I'm trying to share that with all of you. I've been the person that has made other people. I've done that. Me. Did I have a MySpace in advertising? Well, MySpace was kind of popping before me. Like that was like 2007, 2008. MySpace by 09, 10 wasn't real. It was kind of Facebook had taken over at that point, and Twitter and other stuff. So no, I kind of gave up Facebook around my like back when I was a real heavy Guido. That was kind of MySpace. MySpace was heavy for Guidos like back then. Going to Karma on like Saturday nights. That's when MySpace was popping. That kind of went away in 2008, 2009, 2010. But MySpace was great. If you were a Guido, MySpace was your place. Your top 8, you had like DJs in your top 8. And you had like Snooki and listen, I knew who Snooki was before she was famous. I remember seeing Snooki when I was like 14 in Seaside. She's been around. So if you knew Snooki before she was Snooki, like if you knew her as Nicole, you were a G. Like if you knew who she was before then, that's how you knew you were a real Guido. If you knew who like Mike the Situation was before the series, you were a G. If you knew who the unit was, you were a real Guido. That's how you knew if you were a real Guido. Whether you're from Philly or from Long Island or wherever, that's how you knew you were a real Guido. But let's get off the MySpace conversation because nobody cares about my Guido days. Not that I'm still not one. I'm still fucking Guido to the end of the fucking day. And listen, I don't want to hear you say, well, Jeff, you're not Italian. That don't fucking matter. A Guido is a way of life, okay? You spike your hair, you wear the gold, you exude confidence. Whether you're a big guy, you're a small guy, you're a large guy, you're a, whatever. Guido is a way of life, as they say. All right, let's keep it moving. So yeah, I would lean Vikings. They should take care of business, and some of those trends are pretty unbelievable. All right, Jets and Redskins. Not going to spend a ton of time on this one. The Jets are a fucking mess. Adam Gase is an imbecile. Listen, the best player in the field is Terry McLaurin outside of Le'Veon Bell. And Le'Veon Bell's been just he's just on a bad team, unfortunately. No offensive line. And I got to tell you, I like some things the Redskins do. I like their defensive line. I think you can get to the quarterback. They can make Darnold's day tough. And look, McLaurin is a good player. Terry McLaurin's a good player. He's the best player in the field outside of Bell. If I'm the Redskins, I lean on the short passing game. I try to take shots downfield with McLaurin. The Jets are really bad. And both these teams are really bad. But if I had to pick it, I would lean Redskins. But as I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this game. It's not a game I'm looking to wager on. Bills and Dolphins. This one ticked up to 7, and I obviously understand. But it's also made me not have any interest in the Bills. If this would have stayed under 7, I would have been on the Bills likely. But as it's crossed over that threshold, I'm not as interested. I will say this Dolphins team is getting a lot of love, a lot of public bettors, and this line has moved up. I think the Bills finally win a game convincingly today. The Dolphins are a dumpster fire. I don't really care. They haven't been able to do anything. Listen, the way you beat the Bills is running the football effectively, and Miami can't do that. In fact, they're one of the worst run offense in the league. They have a bad offensive line. This team is terrible. Running the ball. They're historically bad, actually. They have no success in the ground, and they don't have anyone to run it. Didn't they traded away Kenyon Drake? Mark Walton's out. And who the hell runs the ball today? That means you're going to have, Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing the football around, which isn't a bad idea, but the Bills are pretty damn strong in the secondary. So it's just a bad matchup for the Dolphins. And I know people will point to the fact, well, they hung around in the first time they played. Yeah, but keep in mind they had some guys to run the football back then. Walton's out now and Drake's out. Or he's gone. So it's not really a good matchup. Miami's running the ball at just over 3 yards a carry. Here's another wild stat for you, and this is a great call. I think the Action Network found this. There's only been one team since 2000 to average under 3 yards a carry. Well, actually 3 yards a carry. It was 2000, or the San Diego Chargers with Ryan Leaf and Jim Harbaugh as their quarterbacks. Their leading rusher was Terrell Fletcher. He had 384 yards that year. So now today, in 2019, only 2 teams have averaged under 3.1 yards a carry or less. This team, the Dolphins, and that team in 2000. So in 19 years, everyone in this league has averaged more than 3.1 yards a carry. That's how bad the Dolphins have been on the ground. And now you have no one to run the football. So it's not really a good matchup if you're the Miami Dolphins. So, the 7 kind of sucks. I guess I would still gulp and take it, but I would have rather. Look, if you got a better number, you're a winner. Hey Jeff, Atlanta is the best bet today. Yeah, well, you came in late. We all disagree with you. So, hey, good luck. Good luck. We'll get more into the rest of the card here. What else do we have? Houston and Baltimore. All right, Baltimore laying 4, total 51. There are some 4.5s out there as well. This number's, I think, coming down a little bit. All right, first of all, coaching. Harbaugh's way better. We all know that. Ravens offense should be able to move the ball at will. Houston does nothing well. I guess the run defense is good, but no J.J. Watt, which will hurt. They're not going to be as strong as they've been on the ground. So the Baltimore Ravens will run the football effectively. Won't be as great as they have been, but I think they'll be fine enough. And Lamar Jackson can just make plays. They're going to get destroyed through the air, Houston. They don't have anyone to stop the pass. Brown should have a big day. The tight end should have big days. Listen, Baltimore's going to move the ball, okay? They move the ball against everybody. It's just that simple. And again, Houston doesn't do anything here that's going to make me have any pause in taking the Ravens. I also look at the Ravens defense. I love Deshaun Watson. He's a good player. But I think this pass defense is starting to really feel it. Really starting to feel it. And again, against the run, they're not great. But I think Pecco and Justin Ellis as reinforcements can help a little bit. That's going to be a knock here. And again, you've got to hope that they can just not get totally gashed. But Baltimore's at home here. Again, I don't trust Bill O'Brien as far as I can throw him. I know the Ravens have a lot of momentum right now, a lot of support in the public, and it's probably a bad bet, but I took Baltimore here. I just did. It might be a gutsy, it might be a sucker bet, but I've seen Houston defensively. I don't trust them. I don't like Bill O'Brien. And this game is out in the elements, which we've talked about. And I'm not saying that, Deshaun Watson can't move the ball and he won't be effective, but it's pretty cold in this area. I mean, it's in the 40s. You got a little wind as well. I mean, it's not going to be brutal, but, it's outside. Kind of gray around here. I'm not too far from Baltimore, by the way. I like the Ravens here. And it could be a bad bet. I mean, Baltimore's not been good against the number, and the Texans have been. But I like Baltimore. I'm taking a shot here. If Baltimore can keep Houston out of in the red zone and not score touchdowns, they'll win this game. They'll win it by double digits. And we all know Bill O'Brien's going to do something to fuck this up. We all know it. Ravens and Harbaugh on a different level right now. A couple of more here. Arizona and the Cardinals. And the Cardinals headed on the road to take on the Niners. Niners laying 10, total 44. Look, I was not impressed by Jimmy Garoppolo last week. I don't think anybody was. It was ugly. It was a bad performance. And he looked like a bit of a liability. Okay? They're no longer undefeated. They can take that, monkey off their back, if you will. But again, no Kittle. Sanders is probably not going to play here. Breida. I mean, not only do you have a lot of injuries, you have a lot of important injuries, okay? You have a Niners team that has been kind of vulnerable against the run. I think Kyler Murray and these young guys on the Cardinals, I think, are going to exploit them a little bit. This number's too high to me. I mean, if you didn't get the better number, it kind of sucks because you could have got a higher number than 10. But again, I think that the Cardinals kind of match up well here in this game. A teaser component wouldn't be bad. Taking them up to 16. I don't think they get blown out like that. You get 2 touchdowns covered here. But again, 10 should be good enough. And again, I don't love Garoppolo right now. I don't. I got to be real with you. I think the Cardinals win. I'm going to put a little bit on the money line. I think they win. Crazy enough. This is a pretty good matchup for the Cardinals. I mean, it is. I mean, they should be able to run the ball. And Murray can extend and make, continue plays. Defensively, they're not terrible. I don't think they're good. They're not terrible either. And who do you throw to today? Because I got to tell you, without Breida, Sanders, and Kittle, that's pretty fucking bad. I mean, there's not a lot of talent. I mean, there's, quick players, and there's some guys that, can make people miss, but a lot of drops last week. I think the Cardinals throw a little wrench in here. Wouldn't be surprised if they win. I could be way off, but when I can see a good matchup, I see a good matchup. Sanders is playing. Yeah, that's wild. And how would you know that? The injury report's not out yet. He hasn't practiced all week, but you somehow know he's playing. Okay, whatever. Listen, he's got a rib injury, so I'm not really, let's say he does. Okay. I'm not sure how you would know that because, again, there's no injury report out yet. But for somehow Matt Dilks knows. Listen, Matt, all due respect, you might be right, but until I see an injury report, I'm not gonna buy into that just yet. Big man, Wu-Tang Clan or Tribe Called Quest? Tribe Called Quest was a little before my time. Wu-Tang is still kind of relevant. They're still putting out music. And look, in my opinion, and I mean this, Ghostface Killah is arguably a top 10 rapper ever. I love him. He had a song a couple years ago, probably about 10 years ago now, maybe 15. It was called Run. Jadakiss was in it. One of my favorite songs ever. I mean, just gutter shit that I like. Like, I fuck with Ghostface, man. Hard. Love him. And, Meth, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, Tribe Called Quest a little before my time. All right, let's keep it moving here. We got two more games, New England and Philadelphia. New England laid 4.5, total 44.5. Listen, New England's getting hammered here, and the line's going the right way. I'm an Eagle fan, but I have no reason to believe they're going to win this game. I don't. I'm not confident. The defense, I don't trust. I think the Eagles really struggle to move the ball today. I think Goddard and Ertz are going to have big games. This team's just really fucked themselves. I mean, it's just that simple. They didn't go out and get players at the deadline when they should have. And now they expect to win the NFC East with, second-rate players. And that's why this team won't win the NFC East, because they're not good enough. Okay? They don't have good enough playmakers. I'm sorry. And I feel bad for Carson Wentz because Carson tries to keep these kids in the game, but they're just not good enough. Your starting receivers today are going to be Aguilar, Mac Hollins, and Jordan Matthews. I mean, come on, man. Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. I mean, you think Bill Belichick's stupid? I mean, he's coming off a bye here. You think he's going to let Ertz and Goddard just beat him? It's not going to happen. Listen, I've seen the Eagles win these kind of games where they have no chance and whatever. Go back to 2015. I mean, they were horrific that season and had nobody, even a worse team than this one, and beat the Patriots. But again, they got a punt return for a touchdown. They got a block punt for a touchdown. They got a fumble return for a touchdown. I got to tell you, those aren't going to happen today. This defense is soft. I hope I'm wrong, but I think the Patriots destroy the Eagles today. And again, I hope I'm wrong. But I think the Eagles get crushed. That's just my opinion. This culture of this team is not good. It's not. And have the Eagles done this before? Yeah. But I don't see it here. I kind of like the over. I think the Eagles can find ways. It's not going to be easy either. Game I wouldn't bet on. Don't lose sleep about Dallas. They're no big deal either. Well, they're better than the Eagles. Way better. So I will lose sleep. I'm not losing sleep. I mean, I sleep fine, but I don't. I just don't think the Eagles are very good. I'm not some delusional fan like all these people that go down to these games are. We're gonna win 28-10. Shut up. Shut up. These guys are the worst. This new Eagle fan base, this everything's great fan, it fucking sucks. I hate these fucking fans. fucking 4th and John and all these fucking lame ass fans. Like, shut up. Like all this, like everything's great, kumbaya shit. Shut up. Listen, I liked it better when you come to this town and you're gonna get a fucking beer thrown at your head if you act like a dickhead. Nowadays, it's like, oh, well, come into our tailgate. We'll take care of you. Fuck that. That's not what Eagle fans are. I don't want this harmonious crap anymore. I'm sick of it. That's why I hate going to games there now. The atmosphere fucking sucks. It's like a fucking corporate place. It's where you go to hang out. You fucking see your friends every week. I don't mind seeing your friends, but, at least be tough. You got these stupid beanbag tailgates, all this stupid crap. Listen, go get a couple of hoagies, couple of salt and peppers, fry them up, and eat. Be fucking merry. Get drunk, go into the game. We don't need you being kumbaya, taking pictures and, kissing everybody's ass and, hey, opposing fan, Cowboy fan, you can come hang out with us. We'll take care of you. We're not what all these shitheads are. Fuck that. This is fucking Philadelphia, all right? Act like a fucking fan, not this new shit. Dickheads. No, Donnie don't do that. Donnie doesn't even go to games. And Donnie wouldn't do that, believe me. Donnie ain't going to no 4th and John tailgate. Look, I don't agree with him as an Eagle fan. I think he's way off, but, he ain't like that. Is Geno's the best cheesesteaks? That's like asking me, would you rather drink Shasta Coke or real Coke? Come on, man. Geno's? No, if you were to ask me what's the worst cheesesteak in Philadelphia, I would say Geno's. So, yeah, look, as an Eagle fan, I think they get crushed today. Hey, I hope they win. I'll be rooting for them, but I don't see it. 471, 472, final game. Oakland and Cincy. Cincy blows. Cincy stinks defensively. Josh Jacobs should have a huge game here. It's just that simple. I mean, this defense for the Bengals is bad. I mean, their linebackers are horrific. They can't tackle. They've got one of the worst pass defenses in the league. I think Derek Carr continues to have a really solid year today. Do I trust their defense? No. I kind of like the over here. I think the Raiders will put up 30 plus. Not a game I'm going to be really wagering on. But I do kind of like the Raiders here. It's not ideal laying double digits, but they are at home. And to be honest, I think the Bengals are horrible. Like, I think they're the worst team in the league. Like, yeah, I think they're worse than even the Dolphins and stuff. Ryan Finley, like, the fact that he's starting an NFL game is amazing to me. Like, seriously, it's amazing. Like, Ryan Finley was a shitty quarterback at San Diego State. Or not San Diego State, NC State. I'm thinking of Ryan Lindley. San Diego State. It was NC State, Ryan Finley. Now, he was okay at NC State, but this is not NC State. This ain't Georgia Tech and Wake every week. I mean, he was pretty fucking bad last week. Pretty fucking bad. So there you go. All right, couple of comments here, and then we'll get to a free play in college basketball. So don't leave. Don't eat a mistake. Yeah, that's their slogan. But again, it's not good. Would anyone bet? And believe me, I'm actually I've eaten a lot of steaks in my life. Like, Geno's ain't it. If you're going to go up there, go to Pat's. It's way better. They're going to treat you way nicer. People are good there. I know some people that work there. Geno's is just a fuck. It's like going to TGI Fridays, one of these chain places. That's what it's kind of like. They love tourists there. If you're like a tourist, you want to get a picture taken, that's where you go. But to me, I would literally go to any place in the city over Geno's. Would anyone benefit from signing Colin Kaepernick? Yeah, I think the Bengals will legitimately be better with Colin Kaepernick. I think the Bears would be legitimately better with Colin Kaepernick. I think there are teams that would be better. I think the Steelers, if Rudolph continues to struggle, I think there are a lot of teams that could benefit from him. Again, I don't know. I don't know what Colin Kaepernick would do. I don't know if he would be effective or not. Do I think he looked good in his throws? Sure he did. You know? But for anyone that's like, I saw arguments that were like, oh, well, Colin's throwing at air. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what everybody does in workouts and pro days and combines. I don't know if anybody knows, but at the combine, that's what you do also. So I don't really understand that argument. Listen, it's real simple with Colin Kaepernick. If you're a conservative, you don't like Colin Kaepernick. And if you're a liberal and you understand peace, harmony, and the American way of life, you should like Colin Kaepernick. People are jaded as to why they don't like Colin Kaepernick. People that support Donald Trump and are in that thought process don't like Colin Kaepernick. They don't understand that Colin's not protesting America. He's protesting how Black America is treated. And if you actually know what he's supporting, you probably wouldn't hate him like you do. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you want to know what Colin Kaepernick is and who he is, go watch a 7-minute video on YouTube. It was at Amnesty International. He was accepting an award, and he talked about why he's fighting for what he's fighting for. I don't care if you're fighting for something I don't believe in or do believe in. If you're going out and fighting and putting your life in the hands of what you believe in, I respect that. You know, as long as it's in the laws of the land. Obviously, there's a lot of things that I don't support that people are going out and supporting, i.e., you know, there's ISIS are they're people that go out and protest for what they believe. It's not right. So I don't support stuff like that. But for a guy like Colin Kaepernick, who is supporting a group of people that are obviously unjustly prosecuted and put in prison over white people, I don't know how to live that way because I'm a white American. I get the benefit of the doubt. And that's wrong. And that's what he's going over. I'm not Black, okay? I don't know what it's like to be Black in a car. I don't know, I don't know any of that. And unfortunately, if you're Black, I think 33% of Black people go to prison. 33%. That's amazing. That's terrible. That's horrific. Many of you know I'm very liberal, okay? I'm not a psychopath with it. I support everyone to live the way they want. This is America. The greatest scene in The Wire is season 1, episode 1, the first 2 minutes. Snot Boogie says, you got to. It's America. It's true. This is America. This is where you come to make it. And everyone should be able to make it here. Me, whether you're a Black person, Asian person, Puerto Rican, Russian, Albanian, Chinese, French, whatever. You should be able to come here to make it. All right. Let's wrap it up. All right. No Sunday Night Football. No, I usually don't break it down on this show. I don't know what the injury report's going to look like, that kind of thing. Thank you, Sterling. Do you think the Bengals go 0-16? I think they'll win one game, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be easy. All right, let's get to a free pick in college basketball. I'm going to go with Richmond today. Richmond, minus 14.5 against the Cal State Matadors. Cal State Northridge Matadors. I bet against Northridge on Friday night against Auburn, and it worked out. And I'm going to bet against them here as well. Right now, CSUN is one of the worst defense in the country. They have just been getting gutted defensively. They've been horrific, actually. You look at over their first 4 games, they've given up 87, 97, 94, and 116. There are very few teams that are worse defensively in the country than CSUN. Let me tell you a little bit about CSUN. They're coached by Mark Gottfried, former coach at NC State. They have a lottery pick, Lamine Diane. Problem is, Lamine Diane is ineligible, and he's not playing until January. So, again, they're very, very poor, particularly defensively. They have been horrible. They have been NBA bad defensively. Now they're going to go 2 days after giving up 116, they got to play a team in Richmond who, listen, let me tell you something about Richmond. This is a pretty fucking good offense, okay? This is a team that was top 3 last year in the Atlantic 10. They've already put up 193 against an SEC defense. This is an offense that they're going to play today that's not very good. Richmond should cruise here. Richmond should win by 20 plus. They've got plenty of guys that can score the basketball. Grant Golden, a terrific player for Richmond. Jacob Gilliard can shoot the hell out of the ball. Blake Francis, Nick Sherrod, Nathan Kao. I mean, there's plenty of options here. You look at the other night in the second half. They did go to overtime against Vandy. Scored 63 points in the second half. This Richmond team is really good offensively. They should score 100 in this game. It's just that simple. They are terrific offensively. Shouldn't have any trouble. This game seems to me like a 98, 80 type of game. 98-70, something like that. I think the Richmond Spiders cruise today against the Cal State Northridge Matadors. Northridge is a fade until Diane gets back. Just my opinion. Diane is out until the new year. Everyone have a great day. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the NFL. I hope you cash today. Cash hard, cash hot, hot. Good luck. For me, free plays today, I'm going to go with the Panthers -4, and I'm going to go with the Saints team total over 27.5. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. See you later.